Well, it is a mess, as you can see from the wall behind me. Millions of people in India are walking for miles to get to the bank and then standing in line for hours. They're hurrying to exchange their 1,000 and 500 rupee notes for smaller ones because the high denomination notes have suddenly been withdrawn from circulation. Now, the government thought it was a cunning plan to crack down on fake notes and tax evasion. But as Mobin Nasir reports, it is actually just causing chaos.
Usually bustling with activity, New Delhi's wholesale market is now deserted. A ban on 500 and 1,000 rupee notes has sapped the life out of this bazaar. Customers who normally line up to buy vegetables and fruits are all queuing up outside banks, trying to get new currency notes, and patience is wearing thin.
It's 3:30 in the morning and my wife is waiting for me at the hospital. I don't understand what the government is doing.
Even the doctor isn't accepting our notes to treat the children.
I went to buy food with a 2,000 rupee note, but shopkeepers don't have change.
Back in the market, wholesalers say paying workers and suppliers is becoming impossible.
We are not getting any cash, and we are not able to pay cash either. Farmers want small bills, but we don't have them.
Over the past week, the government's announced relaxations for its 600 million farmers and other vulnerable groups. Farmers can withdraw up to $367 against crop loans. Traders can withdraw twice that amount to pay wages and suppliers. Families celebrating weddings can get up to $3,600 cash from their accounts. But for others, the daily cash withdrawal limit has been lowered from $66 to just $30. Critics say that's made queues outside banks even longer, and that the flow of new currency notes has slowed to a trickle. Prime Minister Narendra Modi acknowledges the currency ban is causing hardship, but says the drive will weed out corruption.
This wasn't done to put people in discomfort. I know it's caused hardship, and I said that on the first day as well.
But several opposition parties say the currency ban won't curb the black market.
This is not a surgical strike on black market tycoons. It's a surgical strike on the savings that ordinary people have collected in their homes over years.
Farmers are already stressed because of low prices of cotton, grains and other produce. Some are even threatening to sell their organs if the government doesn't step in to support prices. If the currency ban keeps them from cashing in on their harvests, the rural economy would suffer, and so could Modi's popularity. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Well, earlier I spoke to Dwinding Sharma. He is an Indian food and trade policy analyst. He told me he thought Modi's policy was a good idea at first, but he now has his doubts.
No, I think as rest of the country, I too was excited. I called it a master stroke initially, but gradually when we started to understand the implications, it became quite obvious that this is a kind of a step which has created a lot of hardship for the country, and people are still undergoing a lot of suffering, and it's a traumatic experience for lots of people, millions of people, and the advantage, if at all, would definitely not be commensurate with the kind of suffering that people have to undergo. Well, 70% of India lives in the villages, and primarily, if we look at the large section of the population there, it is comprising of farmers, and farmers have been hit very, very badly, I would say. And the reason is that this is the time when the sowing for the winter crops takes place in North India and also in parts of South. And this is a time when people have to buy seed, they have to buy fertilizer, they have also to go for other inputs, and there are no money available. So if they go to banks are, the penetration in the rural areas is very low, and the supply of currency also is very low. So people have to be in the queue for, some people go repeatedly for 3-4 days to get the money out, whatever limited cash that has been allowed, and that has ensured that the operations are held up, the sowing operations are held up, and they are finding it that they are going into losses, immense losses, and so they are being exploited also.